Yo,
Yo,
what is good, my boys? It
We
is
back.
Tuesday, December 8th. Hey,
we back.
hey.
Hey. All right. We back. We feeling good. You know what I'm saying? It's Tuesday.
December 8th.
When you don't got a job, you got to look at the calendar and be like, yo, is it really Tuesday? Broke Nigga Chronicles.
Yo, so let's get into this. Reason we started a little, bumpy, dancing shit was because we're going to talk about a great idea that our boy Kenny came up with. For the people that don't know Kenny, who hasn't watched Fantasy, that's Chris's cousin-in-law. And y'all family, though.
Yeah, we are family. But
So, yeah. Long story short, he came up with a great idea. We're going to utilize that. Then we're going to talk NFL. Definitely got some amazing conversations that we can go into in the NFL this week because a lot of things happened this weekend. And we're going to have to break some major news about my boy James Harden, who came out and said he's open to some new ideas.
let's get it.
Let's get it.
You get it.
So, Chris, bring up the topic since you got the message and, you're probably going to...
Yeah, so I was talking to Kenny this week because we were playing at fantasy football, and I was just talking, and because I initially hit him up and I was like, "Yo, you're about to beat me, about to give me another L, bro. Like, thanks." But I ended up beating him. You know what I'm saying? My team went off, so that's a different topic. But he came up with a good idea for the podcast. It was talking about our top 5 albums of all time, but we got to break it up into a 2-1-2. So 2 90s albums, 1 2000 albums, and 2 2010 albums, which I think is a great idea. I mean, we're all pretty versatile in music, and we all are pretty expanded on our horizon. So I think this will be a good conversation. So that's how it really came about. So who wants to start? Who wants to go first? I ain't going first because, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get picked on first like we did last time we talked about music.
We can do Dan, Chris, and me.
All right.
Dan, sorry, bro.
All right, Dan, start it out.
The 90s
Well, like,
era.
try and give a background of the albums and really why,
Okay, yeah, I got you. So for the 90s, I picked 2001 by Dr. Dre and Life After Death by Biggie. So my main thing was, like, those 2 albums remind me OD of, like, just my uncles and my dad because they all used to listen to mad, like, 90s rap and hip-hop and stuff back then. So, like, I don't know, those albums have always stuck with me, especially because 2001 got some, like, really iconic songs in there. Same thing with Life After Death. So it's, like, kind of gave me the both, the West Coast, the East Coast vibes, and it kind of just got me into that whole East Coast, West Coast beef and just how much they hated each other and low-key just didn't fuck with each other. So that started that for me. The 2000 eras, I'm going with Graduation by Kanye West just because, I don't know, that album, like, I just love all the songs in there. You got Can't Tell Me Nothing. You got Good Morning. Like, I've been listening to that song sometimes just out of boredom. Like, the day I graduated, I listened to Good Morning. It was just one of those albums that it just has, like, a nice vibe to it.
Bro, literally, that's like when people talk about good Kanye West, they talk about that. So that's like, that's the hype of Kanye.
Like, that's something that I probably listen to that at least one song a week out of that album every week. Like, and I never get sick of it because you had Stronger, Good Life with T-Pain, Can't Tell Me Nothing, Flashing Lights, Homecoming, Champion.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many different routes you can go with it. And it's like, all right, bro, I'm going to just listen to this today. I'm good for the week. And then just keep going with it.
That's nice.
Then my 2010s are probably a little more controversial, but I kind of looked at it from the aspect of what albums do I listen to the most, and, like, I just never get sick of, and, like, I kind of just really fuck with them, and that's Lil Uzi vs. the World, which was his first album in 2016 when me and Ethan were first graduating high school. Like, I remember it was during my baseball season that whole album with Lil Uzi came out, and Money Longer was, like, wild hot. That was, like, one of my boys' walk-up songs, and, like, it was just... That album just stuck with me until, like, now. And all the songs kind of just really resonated with me a lot more. And my other one was Astroworld. Travis Scott was going to be on my list regardless. I just didn't know which one I wanted to do between Rodeo and Birds of the Trap Sing McKnight. But Astroworld, I think out of all of those, was, like, that album that I kind of sat there and really listened to it a lot more. And I was like, damn, like, this shit is crazy. Like the vibe, the whole change up, and just it got me hyped, especially because like around that time in 2018 was when me and Ethan kind of started this whole trying to look to the next phase of life, and the songs kind of like leveled with the things we were talking about and stuff. So I was like, you know what, that's gonna be the album because that has a little bit more resonation with me.
That album
Yeah.
just hit different in
Yeah,
like
it
every
did.
single song.
I mean, all three of us went to the concert together. Like that album, that
Yeah.
concert and that album was just so hard for no reason.
So
It really was. And it kind of like, I would say, kind of solidified. Not like, I wouldn't say solidified him as an artist because I feel like Midnight in the Trap did that. But fucking, I felt like
That was like
Astro really like took him like from like, I don't know, like a Pusha T to like a Kanye. So like now he's gonna be like kind of iconic and like he's gonna like our kids are gonna listen to him and shit and like things like that. So felt like that album did it. So
word. So that was my five. Chris, you're up.
for the '90s, I kind of went with the same route you did. I did the Chronic from Dr. Dre, and for my other '90s album, I did Midnight Marauders from Tribe Called Quest. So the same thing, kind of East Coast, West Coast. So Dr. Dre, I mean, that's just if you know me, like the Chronic is my album. Literally, I probably know every song on that album, like word for word. So that's from Bitches Ain't Shit to Let Me Ride, like that's all me. So I think that was a really iconic album. And if I'm sure you guys have seen Straight Outta Compton, like the whole backstory to that album and like him going apart and doing his own thing, like it was a cool backstory to it. And then Midnight Marauders, I picked that one because I felt like that really solidified that weird like East Coast rap. It's a little different, it's not Biggie. So I mean, it really, and then I feel like as weird as it sounds, I found like a Tribe Called Quest later in life. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. I moved to New York, and I listened to them little by little, like through playlists and stuff like that. But I moved up north, and Kenny, the guy that suggested this, put me on heavy, and like we would just talk about it, and just literally when we'd get drunk, this is what we'd be listening to. So it really just kind of stuck out, and it was like, you know what, this is fucking great. So that's really why I picked that one. For the 2000s, another fucking typical Chris album, Get Rich or Die Trying. That's my favorite movie as a kid growing up, and I mean, who doesn't like that album?
That album goes too stupid. Like
Me
and you both said it. I was
like,
like, nah, I'm about to
in the club, like PIMP, like fucking 21 Questions, like come on, bro. Like Many Men, like come on. For the 2000s, 2010s, I'd set 444 and Take Care. So 444, I like it because I feel like this was you don't want to say it like this, but it's like the closing of Jay-Z. Like it's his last like real studio album that like kind of caps everything all together, hopefully. Because I liked it. A lot of people didn't like it. Because prior to that, I want to say he released the Magna Carta.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't like that album. But I feel like this album kind of lived up to all those expectations. And Take Care is just Take Care. I mean, it's like Drake's #1 album. And as a Drake fan myself, I take great pride in saying I believe Take Care is the #1 album of the 2010s.
It's up there, but personally, I'm just not like a Drakey ass dude. So,
well, I'm a Drakey ass dude.
Like,
okay?
don't let the skin complexion fool you. I ain't that light skin. So,
yo, Marvin's Room, like, come on, bro. You haven't cried to like Marvin's Room like one time in your life?
Absolutely not.
Yo, let your girl break up with you, and you put on Marvin's Room, bro. You're gonna be crying, okay? All right.
Nah, dog.
So you gonna tell me you've never bumped out Lord Knows?
Nah, of course, Lord knows. Like I've said,
like hell yeah, fucking album. Right. Like come on, bro.
Of course,
I love
the album.
All right.
Marvin's Room is the song that I use as a meme with people. I never have cried to that song ever in my life.
Yo, I know too many like grown men that have cried to that song. like, and I've seen them. Like when you're drunk and like you're really really drunk and you put that album on, just test like somebody's gangster and just put it on and just see if they cry.
She left me.
Oh,
She with a drug dealer now. We got a whole Hellcat in the parking lot. He got 3 kids that he don't even care about. I could have been that one for her. Y'all killing me with this.
bruh, headlines, Crew Love, Take Care, like.
Yo, Crew Love goes
Come
stupid.
on, son. Like, even the stupid song with fucking Nicki Minaj, Make Me Proud. Like, come on, son.
All those songs are dope. But like I said, I just didn't have like that connection with me. Like that's a I could throw on and be like, yo, word, I'm bumping this. But like I never had like that personal connection with the album where it's like, nah, that's an album for me. Like that's the one.
Nah, you definitely like I mean, this released in like 2012, so like how old were you?
14, my nigga. What was I gonna cry about, man?
Yeah. I was like 16, 17 around that time, so like that's your epitome of high school and drama and your girl leaves you and shit and you know what I'm saying? So that's mine. How about you, E? What about you?
For the next barbecue, I gotta see Chris playing "Take Care" at the end of the night. Just
Oh,
throw on, like,
watch, we're gonna get Chris Mad Twist and just throw on Marvin's Room real quick.
This is how
You're gonna see me in the corner and shit like.
You gonna let out that one?
Oh my god, that's gonna be too funny.
Man, that's gonna be fucking hilarious. That's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Agreed.
Alrighty, so what's your 5?
For the '90s, I got Illmatic and Reasonable Doubt.
Okay.
Illmatic has to be one of the most generational albums ever. I don't like Nas personally, but that album just hits different. Every song, Life's a Bitch. There's just too many good songs on there. I go on that whole album. Every single song is a hit.
Yeah.
Every single song. That album has like yet to fail. Reasonable Doubt, because of my family. My brother and dad was like really into Jay-Z. That was like one of his like first studio albums. So him doing Can't Out the Hustle with Mary J. Blige, that song just hits different too. So those are my 2 favorites in the '90s.
Okay. But they, you know, they like hated each other for a minute, right?
I know, and to this day, Takeover still beats Ether, in my opinion. But I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there.
Yeah, don't do it to yourself. You might not sit well with too many people.
Exactly. College Dropout, definitely 2000s. Kanye West's first album, Through the Wire, Last Call, New Workout Plan, everything. That whole album was just amazing. Last Call hit me different because like no one like thought of him seriously as a rapper. He was just a production, and he did for Jay-Z, and that's all like everybody thought of him. So once he hit like Last Call, Through the Wire, and he did that album, Jesus Walks, that's when everything hit different. So he definitely changed the game with that album, in my opinion.
Word.
Yeah.
2010s. Now you said the Take Care was the best album of 2010, but I say My Dark Twisted Fantasy was the best one in 2010.
Okay.
So,
that's when Kanye started to get weird though, and people were like, "Yo."
But that was like before he turned. Jesus is when he turned, but
yeah,
that was like his peak of Dark Fantasy, Runaway. When he had the mask, the Red Octobers, like he was killing it.
Monster.
Monster has to be one of the best songs of 2010. That whole album is just amazing. And then To Pimp a Butterfly, which I felt like it was more slept on. Like people knew it was really good, but like it was more slept on album.
No,
it was one of the best
definitely.
Kendrick's album, but like certain songs just hit different.
But you got to look at the way he started too with Good Kid, Mad City. Like that didn't help the situation either. That was an album I thought about too, and I was like, nah, this one didn't really sit with me the same way. But that album, like, there's days where I'm mad bored. I'm like, I'm gonna just throw this album on just because like I'm bored.
That's right.
Exactly. These Walls, like so many good songs on there too. Wesley Theory, like
The
That's
Pimp a
another one.
Butterfly was definitely like one of his more like
Yeah,
meaningful albums though. Like what he was talking about, what he was rapping about, like everything. Like it just all tied beautifully. So that was a great pick.
my favorite song on that fucking album has to be King Kunta.
Yo, that
Yeah.
song
Yeah,
stupid. I be
yeah,
bumping that shit in the room. Hard as
just
hell.
fucking going hard.
Head bopping hard as shit. About to get myself whiplash.
Yep,
Nice.
that's a fact. Damn, I'm glad we're all very versed in music, guys. This is good conversation here.
Word, I'm glad that no one picked any real crap albums that would just be like,
Yo, like Pharrell or some shit. Like,
alright,
Whoa,
alright,
whoa, whoa,
all
whoa,
alright,
whoa,
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 whoa.
whoa,
Don't
whoa,
disrespect,
right.
don't
I'm done.
disrespect the
I'm
goat,
done.
alright?
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Disrespect the goat,
Calm down.
alright?
Calm down.
Too
Calm
far.
down.
Too far.
Slide jab that damn.
Bro, Pharrell is up there. I don't want to hear nothing. All around, he is up there.
All right.
Speaking of being up there, though, let's talk about this upset with the Steelers last night because they are definitely not one of the best undefeated teams up until week 12 ever. So let's get into that, guys. Any opinions, any takes, any comments? Because y'all know I could rip the Steelers for all day, but I don't want to talk too much. I'll let you guys talk.
I'll let you go first.
Can I get a you was right first though? Like honestly,
I want to say
No.
you were right. Calm
Yeah, I
down.
was a user.
Calm down. They just came off a short rest. You know what I'm saying?
You're tired.
They're tired. They hurt. Okay. They lost a linebacker last week. Like, that's good. That's a, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Alex Smith, you know what I'm saying? With his bloody womb ankle, you know what I'm saying?
yo, that dude.
He was playing with a
leaking.
chip on his shoulder, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Trying to come up with excuses here, but I don't know.
I tried to tell y'all weeks ago, yo, the defense is the only thing holding them together. That offense is not like that.
And
Especially
they
when
lost their
slow.
corner too. They lost a linebacker and a corner. So like, come on, bro. Like that defense was low key hurting.
Here we go. What's the
You
best
telling
thing?
me you gonna lose a linebacker? That's a linebacker is literally the
Yo,
quarterback of the defense.
what is the best team they've played? The Ravens, arguably, and that's we've seen the Ravens all year. We all like, yikes.
We're getting that Chiefs game too, so we'll go right after. But
Yeah, we'll go
that's
after your team too, all right?
That's not my team, but
that Steelers fumble at the end killed me. Like Big Ben had 2 minutes left. He fumbled
Yeah.
it, gave the ball to them, and that just
yo,
finished the game right
even the
there.
wide receivers, yo, all them drops, like easy drops too. It wasn't even like contested drops. Like Ebron had one like literally right here that just legit.
Bro, but did you guys not see the game prior to that when they almost lost to the Ravens?
They played like crap.
Fucking Eric Ebron, I want to say he had at least like 5 or 6 targets where literally the ball would hit his hand and it's just like, yo, like, are they paying you to drop the ball? Like, is some fucking bookie out there like just telling you to fuck it up? Like, that's the way it looked, bro. They were
Chris
a
was
lot
like,
of
yo, put me in, coach.
shit at that point.
I'll drop it for way less money.
Just give me 100,000. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta give me mills. I'll drop it for 100,000. Shit. Yeah, but Mike Tomlin was pretty heated after that game.
Oh, I know Mike Tomlin went into
Both
that
games,
locker
yeah.
room and he probably hit
Shit.
somebody with a garbage can, dog. Like, you see
What
this?
WWF
This is you
in the
guys.
Feel
Yeah.
that juju.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Juju, yo, he barely. I could talk like out of fantasy. He was barely getting any production, dog. Like,
Bro, that's been Juju's story this fucking year, though. They've been trying to. I guess, like, they're going with that. Let's not give it to our star receiver and let everybody else eat. But, like, bro, you gotta let fucking Juju eat, dog.
but
Because
look
if
what
you have
happened.
him,
Look what
you have
happened
him
at
in
the end of the game.
fantasy, yeah. Bro, he literally gets like 3 or 4 points a game. Like, he literally gets like 2 receptions a game. 2 or
Until
3.
the very end when they
Until,
decide,
yeah, exactly.
okay, yeah,
Until
we're
they're
gonna start
up.
doing it.
And it's like, all right, I guess we'll give it to Juju. So,
But then even when they were down last night, they started giving it to Juju and plays were being made. So I'm like, yo, y'all see this and y'all wait till the fourth quarter when it's like 5 minutes to start like getting the production through Juju. Like, instead you want to throw it to Deontay Johnson who's dropping passes. You want to throw it to Chase Claypool's out here being guarded heavy, and then Ebron, like Chris said, just dropping shit for shits and giggles. Like I've said, I told my dad before the game when we were watching it, I'm like, yo, I think they're gonna go undefeated this year, but I do not see them doing anything in the playoff. Like, depending who their first week matchup is, like it's not gonna end pretty.
But remember, they lost James Conner too. You know, we had to implement that running
Yeah.
Yeah, but
game.
even
So
with
the
James
past 2
Conner,
weeks,
they were struggling to run. Like
But
James
James
Conner
Conner,
wasn't
I
having
feel like
like
James Conner
Le'Veon
wasn't
Bell
really.
production, like when Le'Veon Bell was there.
I was gonna say I feel like he really hasn't had any. How can you say, like, this year he never really took off. You could tell he was kind of playing hurt or whatever the hell you want to call it. Because I feel like he never really got off the ground at all. Like,
It's that
I don't
committee
know.
shit though.
Yeah, I do feel you on that.
'Cause look at the
but
game following that, the 49ers and Bills. Like Mostert was having great runs, and then they'll just be like, "All right, bro, you good." Like we're just gonna throw in Jeff Wilson real quick, and then he'll come back in and get like 5 yards, and then like just look like complete like freeze up. Like they just look like they go so hot, and then they just pull them out, put somebody in, put them back in, and then they're cold. Like
Yeah, it's
it
very
is,
true.
it is what it is with that though. I mean, the Bills, we all had the Bills winning anyways. Um, Definitely didn't. Nobody here thought the Steelers were gonna lose that game at all. And speaking of NFC East teams that pulled an upset, let's talk about Chris's Giants.
Let's go, G-Men, winning for no reason. Talk about teams that are not going to do anything in the playoffs and we're winning. Thanks, Giants. Appreciate you.
So yeah, Chris, I wanted to ask you about that. How you feel about this whole situation? Like, do you think it's going to translate well into next season, or is this going to be like a 1 year fluke thing?
No, I think it'll translate to next year because their defense is still really young. I mean, they don't really have that many old pieces on their defense. I feel like it'll correlate into next season, hopefully. I mean, the only thing that really worries me is fucking that offense and how Barkley comes back, but Barkley's still young. I feel like, honestly, I feel like if the Giants got a shot at a quarterback, they got to take it.
Just hold them and see what happens with Daniel Jones next year, or
Yeah,
just straight
because
up.
Daniel Jones, bro, after this injury and just like the way he was playing this year, dog. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not convinced. And I know at the beginning of the year, I tried to say let's give him another 2 years and see what happens, but I don't know, dog. You might have to just cut the umbilical cord short while you can until it just goes down the, you know what I'm saying, down the drain. Because then you wait too long, and then you end up with like a Jameis Winston situation, where the guy's throwing 33 picks or some shit like that a year.
Yeah,
So,
especially because you got to start considering, re-signing Evan Ingram,
hmm
re-signing Saquon Barkley, re-signing Slayton,
yeah,
re-signing Shepard. Even though Shepard I
yeah,
think signed, right? Or has he yet?
I don't know. I don't know that.
Regardless,
I
let's
don't
just
know.
say he hasn't. That's all your offensive pieces that you got to think. Okay, who are we signing? And then like
Yeah,
at that
and
point,
they're
what
all
do you want
pretty consistent pieces. They just don't have a quarterback. Because
to
Evan
do?
Ingram, like, he has the caliber to be, a top 10 tight end. Like,
Top five.
I
yeah.
say top five.
So, and I mean, Sterling Shepard's another really good receiver when he's healthy. He just doesn't have,
He's not a number
they,
one though,
yeah.
because he was a
So,
lot better with Odell there. Who Odell was like an actual
yeah,
number one.
yeah. And they were trying to put Slayton at number one to be like their number one target, but Slayton's not. Like, I don't know. Maybe he just hasn't developed, but I don't think he's capable for number one. So, let's see.
Agreed.
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm
y'all still beat the
excited though.
Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean we beat the Seahawks, but I feel like the defense beat the Seahawks, not really the offense.
Yeah, the
So
Seahawks offense was just
yeah,
iffy.
it
That bugger,
was.
they had a pick six.
I want to say they
Um,
did have a pick six.
I know they had an interception. I just didn't know if it was one pick six.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it got returned.
I
I think
don't
they
know.
took it all the way.
Let's.
I think they took it all the way down to like the 5.
Yeah. Okay. And then they scored.
Unless I'm bugging out. I'm pretty sure it was down like to
No,
the 5.
you're probably right. I just know Wilson had a horrible game.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Colt McCoy had 1 touchdown, 100 yards, and Alfred Morris had a touchdown.
Yeah, they didn't score a touchdown. Looking at their
Nah,
defense through fantasy, they got a 5
nah.
sacks, an interception, 2 fumbles, and a fumble
Yeah,
recovery.
God, two fumbles? God damn.
yeah.
Yeah,
They
they
got an
forced 2 and they recovered 1.
Yeah.
in an interception, right?
Yeah. So I mean, the
Yeah.
Giants' defense is good, and I thought they were going to be pretty decent on the line. I wasn't sure about the corners and safeties and stuff, but they're holding up pretty well.
Yeah, so we're number one in the NFC East, tied with Washington now.
I still like Washington more after beating the Steelers.
I mean, I felt like the NFC East has just had a little spark at the end of the season because now the Cowboys are getting a little healthy. I mean, it's not like the Cowboys are going to do anything, but Eagles still suck. But Washington and the Giants, they've surprised people lately.
Yeah, we'll see what the Cowboys do against the Ravens tonight. That's the only game pick that we're waiting on. During the week, I went during this week of football, I went 7-7. Chris went 8-6, and Ethan went 10-4.
Ooh.
Ethan had the Raiders.
I was about to say I had a lot of picks because when I was looking at Dan's, I was like thinking opposites.
Yo, all right, so let's get into that, right? So you had the Raiders, which shout out to my boy Greg Williams. Right now you're unemployed, but in a few years you will be a war hero for the Jets, and everybody will remember you. You deserve a statue if we get Trevor Lawrence, and they got to cash my man out. They got to take care of him. We're gonna leave it at that, just because if you haven't heard about this, like you gotta really search it up. Like the Jets really just decided, we're gonna take just 1-on-1, just let them throw a bomb. It is what it is. The next game, Ethan picked the Browns over the Titans, which that game went literally how Ethan said it was gonna go, and literally word for word what Ethan said was gonna happen ended up happening. And I did not think it was gonna get that bad. It was like 40-something or like 17 at one point.
Yep, 45-17.
Yeah.
So like I said, I think me and Chris went more on the we don't believe in the Browns route, and Ethan just said, you know what, I'm gonna take my chances on everything I said that's gonna happen, and it worked out. Then we had the nail biter between the Jaguars and Vikings. That was a game I was watching very closely because this number one pick. I was like, if the Jaguars win, that gives the Jets at least one game to win, so people can shut up and let their players win a game at least. Now they lost to the Vikings, so keep Adam Gase as long as you can, so we can go 0-16, please.
That's hilarious.
Ethan had Dolphins. Well, all three of us had the Dolphins over the Bengals. Ethan knows that the Bengals, after losing Joe Burrow, is kind of like whatever. Yeah. Even though that game was pretty good, I'm not even gonna lie.
I mean, there was a whole brawl because we hit the punt returner, but we won't go there.
Yeah, y'all want to start fights and shit. Even though that fight, when Boyd got ejected, I was kind of like, all right, there really wasn't much there for them to get ejected, really. Like, it was a little, like, pushing, punching. Like, when they say throwing punches, I'm looking for, like, what's this dude's name? Andre Johnson? Unless I'm bugging out?
Oh, when he hit Richard Sherman? Or, no, Trent Williams is the one that hit Richard Sherman at the end of the game.
When Andre Johnson took the dude's helmet off and just started wilding on the back of this dude's head, like, that's what I was expecting to see. And I'm like, wow, that was it.
Nothing.
Got dead ass with this.
The next one, Chris and Ethan picked the Colts over the Texans. I know y'all was biting y'all nails when y'all saw how close the Texans were to winning that game, and then they fumbled on the last snap at like the 10-yard line. I was like, wow. Not only because I had Deshaun Watson as a quarterback in fantasy, but also because of the game picks. I was like, wow.
They would have scored right there.
Yeah.
Then all three of us had the Bears against the Lions. The Lions ended up winning that game 34-30. Same situation. Mitchell Trubisky at the end had a chance and just straight up fumbled too.
Hold the Mitch.
Yep.
Yo, what do the Bears do? Like, what do you do at this point? Do you just bite the bullet and just be like, yo, we was wrong. Let's just hit that Chris button of get a new quarterback? Because Nick Foles, I don't really think is your answer. That was a nice little project, but no. And Mitchell Trubisky sucks, as we all know.
Nice little project, but no. Yo, you gotta vacate. Vacate. After this, is his contract up this year or no?
Nope, they just re-signed him this year, right? Oh. I think they just signed Nick Foles.
I don't know.
Either this year or last year.
Let's see. Mitch Trubisky contract. Oh, that's the first thing that comes up on Google. Let's see. He just signed a 4-year, $29 million deal. Holy shit, that's big money.
That was this year, right?
He signed that 2017.
Oh, okay. So I feel like it's been mad.
Yeah. So this is the last year of his contract. That's it. 2020.
Oh, okay. They traded for him this year.
Yeah. So okay, 2017. Yeah. Damn. 2017, he was earning $14 million.
Yeah, that was after he won with the Eagles, and then they ended up
Yeah.
trading for Nick Foles from the Bears. All right, that's why I was like mad
Well,
confused on his contract.
so yeah, 2020. That's it. So
So blow it up.
blow it up. See you later.
I'm definitely trading Allen Robinson. He don't deserve to be there.
You got to trade Allen Robinson and Khalil Mack and just get all the assets you can for them both and just restart from
Yep,
scratch. Honestly, because this team
I
isn't
agree.
doing much.
Yeah,
I agree.
that's facts.
Since we got 10 minutes, I'm gonna just go through these mad fast. Saints Falcons. I had the Falcons. You both had the Saints. Another game that came down to the wire, and Matt Ryan decided let me throw the ball everywhere, but Julio Jones. Then the last play decided let me throw to Julio Jones with two people on him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh God. We already talked about the Seahawks. Ethan had the Rams. Me and Chris had the Cardinals. That game ended up being like 38-20, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rams defense being the Rams defense yet again. And Kyler Murray, I guess we're gonna have to start questioning if you really like that.
Probably not.
Probably not.
All three of us had the Packers against the Eagles. That game got really bad with Carson Wentz at some point. They took him out, put in Jalen Hurts, and now everybody's asking the question of what do you do? So if you guys were Doug Peterson, you're starting Jalen Hurts or starting Carson Wentz still?
You're starting Jalen Hurts, bro.
Yep. Jalen Hurts.
Okay, at that point, what you got to lose?
Your pride, bro. You know pride is the biggest thing in the NFL, like we always talk about every week.
Did you see the I want to say it was the meme with the Wentz jerseys for $10? Yeah, in Philly. They
50%
were like
off.
only in Philly. Well, they still put on starting quarterback jerseys for sale. Because you know how they usually do that after like they get rid of the whatever quarterback and then
Yep.
the stores will put it on sale.
Yep.
But
Only
that was
Philly.
crazy.
I was the only one that picked the Patriots between the Patriots and Chargers. That game was a 45-zip. We don't got to get too deep into that game. Just
Do
just
you
know it was
question
bad.
Justin Herbert after that?
Nah, it's
I think
it's
So, yeah.
it's Justin Herbert going against Bill Belichick. Everybody knows that when you're a rookie quarterback, you're not doing anything against Bill Belichick. Like I don't know why, it just happens. Justin Herbert will bounce back next week. Chiefs and Broncos. We got like 7 minutes. If you guys want to talk one topic that you guys want to bring up, just bring it up real quick.
All I gotta say, Mahomes, one touchdown, I think like 200 something yards. He was not that good against the Broncos.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
it wasn't an impressive game from your Chiefs. So
I think it was 22-16. So they let the Broncos score. So it was. It didn't look too good to me for the Chiefs.
yeah,
Or go back to the drawing board and try to come back strong next week.
It's the Chiefs, so it don't matter. But that
yeah. I was gonna
defense,
say it's not like it really matters, but yeah,
that defense is not there right now.
Then Steelers football team we talked about. Then the Bills beat the 49ers. All three of us had that game because it's Nick Mullins with a bunch of second and third year players, second string and third string players. Like, it is what it is. So the reason I wanted to rush through that with 6 minutes and counting is talk NBA because me and Ethan literally right before we started the Zoom got an update about James Harden. And Ethan, what was the news?
He was considered a candidate for the 76ers, and he's willing to go anywhere that's contenders at this point.
So for the people that don't know, James Harden has been skipping practice. He's out here living his life at where, guys?
Strictly
strip clubs with the what is it called, little baby, giving them Richard Millers 100,000, just
casual.
throwing it up.
So with that in mind, do you trade for James Harden right now? And what team do you guys think will be that team that says, yo, we got to do it?
I'm saying no. I'm just saying no, and the team that does it is got to
Taking a bit
question
of a
them.
risk.
Yeah, but that's my opinion. I'll let he say his opinion.
I say yes, but it depends who you give up. Like the 76ers don't want to give up Embiid or Simmons, and of course the Nets are not giving up KD or Kyrie. So it's hard to trade for somebody if you're not giving up your superstars.
So what, you guys think the 76ers will be the team and they just make a crazy package, or you think it'll be a different team?
Different team.
So how do you guys feel about Miami? Since Miami is a team that everybody's saying that an all-star, they're trying to trade for one, they're trying to get a way of getting it, and they got the cap space for an extra all-star. You think he fits that culture, though?
Nah.
Giannis
I mean,
fits
that's
that
just.
culture
I
more.
mean, if LeBron didn't fit that culture, like LeBron won a chip with them and everything, but it came out after that Heat's culture of them being up at 5 in the morning and practicing at 5 in the morning. Everybody takes a fucking team bus everywhere. Like it's like high school basketball all over again. Like he didn't fit that culture. You think James Harden's gonna fit that culture?
Definitely
Absolutely
not.
not.
No. Like I don't think they're gonna tolerate him at the strip club or him going to some whatever concert, after practice and then him showing up fucking all tired the next day. I don't think that's gonna be tolerated.
Exactly.
So
So Ethan, your take, definitely just not the move, right?
Yeah. At this point, just keep him.
yeah.
You think he's gonna get traded to any team, like just any team that just decides to put a package for him at this point? If he keeps skipping practices?
I don't see the Rockets doing that. They got to get a star back. Like John Wall was a star coming back with Russell Westbrook. So it depends. You have to get a star coming back, and they have to be contenders. So it's hard to say which superstar will go to the Rockets and who will get traded for.
Yeah. That's a fact.
Word. I'm trying to think of a team that can pull it off, but every team, like, they're not gonna give up a star, especially when I don't think any of the stars right now are really disgruntled that we know of. So,
Yeah.
Exactly.
because one team I thought about was Dallas, but Dallas, they're not gonna give up Luca, of course, and they're definitely not giving up
Definitely.
Porzingis either. So,
Nope. So he might be stuck there, and he might sit out the whole year. I don't know. You never know with James Harden now.
did you hear about the NBA though? Like a lot of the other owners and GMs are complaining about how he's sitting out, and like the NBA got to look into it because they don't want to give like the players got enough power already. They're like, yo, if you do this, like that's just gonna be overkill power for these players. Like,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
many teams are sitting out like televised games, 100K fine. It makes sense. Like if you want to see the Lakers and LeBron's not playing, what's the point of watching at this point? And you're sending your stars. So I'm
okay, yeah, so
certainly for that.
let's get into that a little bit, Ethan. Just give a little more backstory on that. Everybody knows it's like 71 days of off season, correct?
Yeah.
So they said the league sent out a notice, like Ethan was saying, of $100,000 fine for every nationally televised game you sit out. So the ESPN games and TNT games, ABC. But I told Ethan another part of it also was that you can sit out the games that aren't nationally televised. So like if the Knicks are playing on MSG, LeBron can sit out against the Knicks.
Yep. Which makes
So
sense.
yeah, so James Harden better get his shit together before he starts getting fined 100,000, and he can't throw it at strippers no more. But guys, less than a minute. We'll leave it there. Hopefully, with the NBA starting up, we'll be able to bring up some more topics very soon,
Yeah.
and
Hopefully.
we'll keep the great conversations rolling on Friday when we see what happens with this Ravens game.
Yes,
Sure.
sir.
All right, guys. Peace.
We
Peace.